natural habitat in front of the TV. It's people outside shooting fireworks. It's too cold out there for us anymore.
Yeah, too cold.
It is.
I get to play. Can I see?
No, you can't play the camera, but you want to post for me?
You want me to play?
Okay. She can play it on every day.
Play it on
It's not too bad, man. I don't even get to play with them when they come down. Like, you know, this thing ain't tested all night.
Back then.
Yeah. Come here, I want to
You didn't call him a nigger or...
Get your brother to sell.
Say, hey.
And it's burnt.
Now the end there, you know. They say, well, that N-word. The N-word.
Okay, well, family fireworks from this phone.
Better shot would be from outside. Look, you just missed one.
Okay. Pretty. Oh.
Hey, Amy.
Yeah.
Okay, come.
No, it's still like the church is,
In front of the tree, and you like I need some tea. Can I get you look at me on the camera.
Okay, post for me. Say, I'm a pretty baby.
I'm a pretty baby.
Yes, you are. Anything else you want to say?
Bonnie.
Bonnie?
Yes. Bonnie.
Okay. Can you do anything special?
I'm going to say, I love you.
Can you say your 1 through 10 in Spanish? Can you say,
I want to say, what can I say?
say una, dos,
tres, cuatro,
cinco, seis. I know, that's why I was telling you. Say, Mommy teaches her things.
Ocho, dos, tres, no, good.
Good job, Chelsea. Can you do it in French? Un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, seis,
no, that's one of the
sept. What is it?
The chocolate popcorn.
Oh, yeah, I haven't even tried it. You should sit in the corner.
So we have, somebody like a card table.
Do we have one here?
What's the name? I asked her, she's like, it's okay, we might not need it.
We will, we count it.
I thought we had one in the spot.
I can plug it on the chair,
We didn't bring them all.
Do we not have a card table?
Fair enough.
Elaine asked me to, and I forgot it.
We had a card table. I go back to the meeting, I'll just check that out.
Karen says she will be.
Should go.
Another thing you could do is... Not like she wants to do all our things. Right there. We got one out.
anyway. Come on anyway.
I'll be right there.
You want me to get some chairs?
Well, I don't know, I thought it was on the floor, actually.
Most of these pictures are special photography now, they're all in black and white. They special art.
That's right.
Don't ever keep pictures without you put names and dates on the back. Charlie Coons, McAdams. I don't know where. They were not that, J.C. and Charlene's and Cersei's mother died when Cersei was 3 years old.
My dad was how old, 8 or 9 or something? He was, what were your ages, yours and my dad's and how many years apart were you?
We were 6 years.
Okay.
He was born 1918, I was 1924.
Okay, Charlene
Charlene was 1922.
Okay.
Now this is their mother, the one that died.
Oh, I know it's going
I
to
don't know what to call it.
I will know.
look.
There's 2 or 3 of them.
She died in
Where's the camera, like, that man, camera over there?
She does, I mean it. Have you heard them call me Minnie?
There's another thing about Mr. Charlie, those of us that call him today.
Yeah, we used to call that, yeah, we done that, yeah.
Well, John started it.
John started.
I'm to blame, all right.
I didn't know that.
Cersei, where did you guys live? Where did the Charlie McAdams family live? I know you were in Milford for a while, and then you were up on the hill down here.
Not in Milford, we were...
I mean, right in Palmetto, I'm sorry.
Palmetto.
Where in Palmetto?
This is your granddad's dad.
I don't know, that was, my dad was, let's see, he went to school a year or 2 to think that.
Here you go.
Maybe 1 year or 2 years, I found that.
Okay.
That's your
And
dad.
then we moved up here. Let's see.
Did you know?
I don't remember,
Hi.
he might
You
be,
can sit down. Sit down.
lived up in town there at, before we moved down here, you know, the hill on the,
So the house on the hill is where you guys lived?
yeah.
So how many years there was exactly, pretty much?
Well, I must have been, let's see, no, we were uptown when my mother died. I was 3 years old. We probably moved down here when I was about 4 years old.
Down on the house on the hill.
That's when they built. About 2 years later, they built this road. See, the old road runs right behind this house. The Kennedy Milford Road runs right behind this house. It goes,
Yeah, I know where it costs.
Well, you know where I live.
Yeah, where it costs is. So how long did you guys live up on the hill there?
well, we moved up, uptown, let's see, moved back up there. I was about 12 years old. I believe that's right. About 11 years old, I think.
And you moved uptown, you moved up to that house where Velma lived until she died.
Right. And you were born, see, behind, the little house behind that.
Yeah.
That's where the, Gunner Lane was
Yeah.
going at that
Well,
time.
the house where Mother Daddy lived there, by the Walkers, that's where they were living when Mother died. She died there in that house. How did she die? What was wrong?
She had some kind of complications, I just don't remember, I don't know whether it was, seemed like something like pneumonia.
Who are you talking
Back
about?
then, they had no way of treating it.
Avalon. Mother said she got food poisoning.
Was it food
That's
poisoning?
what I had thought too.
But it might have been.
Then it came on, like, Daddy told me, he went to see somebody, and he'd just seen her, just left from her, and they came after him. He had just gotten where he was supposed to be, that's how fast it happened. They came after him and told him that his mother was dead, or died.
Well, I guess that's probably it, because I was 3. She died in 27.
One place this
And I had just turned 3 years old because she died in July 1927. See, I was born in March 24th, so, and I don't remember her.
This is all 3 of them. Cersei and Charlie in the middle, and over with Stacy. In the middle.
Kurt.
What are you doing?
That was Aunt Charlene, his sister. And this was
Well, that light, turn on too, is there a bulb in that light? It may not be. May have gotten unhooked.
Spencer, how many pairs of blue jeans do you own today?
Why did you
Yes.
yourself?
How many pairs of blue jeans do you
Yourself. Ben?
Jeffrey, how many pairs of blue jeans do you get?
Now,
Daniel, you know how many pairs of blue jeans you got?
5 or 7.
5 or 6. Ask Pop how many he had.
I'm ready.
I think I got 2 pairs.
Ben.
Then, when you were there,
I didn't have any blue jeans.
Overalls. Overalls.
overall.
I had probably 2 pairs of overalls.
Probably one pair of shoes, man.
They weren't Tommy Hilfiger either, I don't think, or Arizona, or
We did this whole thing already. Running out of subjects to shoot here.
I wore 1 pair of overalls
Let's get the pictures on
every
that.
day for a week. And I'll guarantee you, at the end of that week, they were just as clean as the boys now if you wear them one day. Because when I got home, I took those off and put the ones on that had holes in them. That's right. Overalls, I got 2 pair of overalls to go to school on. I'd wear 1 pair 1 week, next week I'd wear the next other pair.
This is a picture of Thelma, Mr. Charlie. Do you know what year they married? That was Mr. Charlie married her in Thelma.
I don't know. I don't think,
Oh, Big Mama.
Chelsea, you see it? I wonder, where's the light? I wonder if that was the little doll, one of the dolls. You look at it when it comes around. Her doll that she had.
What did, Mr. Charlie, I know he, when I knew him, he was in the lumber business. So how long was he in the lumber business? When was he, what was he?
well, he bought this place down here. Probably, I believe it was about 1927. Of course, he was just farming. We had the old barn still over there. We had 8 or 10 ewes, and sharecroppers.
What sharecroppers, you mean those old houses around? Sharecroppers out
The
there?
one right here behind this house, and one, right behind Oris's house there on the old road.
Yeah,
One right down where the big oak tree is, right down here on the right.
oh, yeah, I remember that.
And then one down where the old barn, where the lots down there, used to be the house down, that's where Otis was born.
Well, then there was one below the house on the hill down towards the Y, a house down there.
Yeah. And, there was a house behind the house on the hill. There was one there. Let's see. I believe, gosh, Daddy lived down here.
Well, I think that's who was born in the house.
Hey, Doc, weren't you born in the house down there?
Yeah,
We talking about that.
That's where Cooley was.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question? How long has this land been in the McAdams possession? Did Mr. Charlie get it from somebody, or did he buy it?
bought it, I believe it's probably around 1927.
Oh,
I believe it.
who did he buy it from?
We've seen it, Chelsea.
Chelsea? Chelsea,
I'm
how
not
about it?
sure, what it was, let's see.
Chelsea. Are you going to bed?
I'm not sure.
Did he own land down in Palmetto before he bought this land, or?
Just, no, he didn't really own any down there, he did later, but,
Not
like
that
that.
When did he go to the lumber mill business?
Let's see, he first went in it, probably, well, he was in the sawmill business back in the 20s.
But that's sawmill, not planer mill, right?
That was just sawmill.
Do you guys know the difference? Sawmill's little operations where they saw rough boards from the log.
Right.
Planer mill, they bring in the rough boards and plane them down to a uniform thickness. So he was in the sawmill business in the 20s. Do you know when he got the planer down?
Well, he and Uncle UT Crocus, they, after the Depression, in the 30s, early 30s, you know, the Depression.
That's what we all told you, I was in the Depression.
Tell them about the Depression.
I remember
Well,
that.
you wouldn't believe it. They wouldn't believe it.
We'll try them. Go ahead.
I think they're still in shock from the 2 pair of overalls.
Having to pull them off, you know.
Not even designer label overalls.
You mean you didn't have Tommy back then?
They might have been Oshkosh Bagosh before that was pretty up label. I mean, it's, a lot of other companies got their business making honest clothes.
I'll have y'all know I wore Shirley Temple dress. Y'all have her Shirley.
How about the Depression? I mean, it didn't hurt real bad in rural areas.
You didn't have any money.
Wow.
Absolutely had
We,
no.
living down here on the place, we had plenty to eat. That's all we had.
All of our family, my dad did construction work, and they all, and mother's brothers, all got out of a job, and that's when we came to Kennery, and they lived in that house where we were.
Where are they before?
Her mother and daddy, and her 3 brothers, and they went out and got some land and started planting a garden, and they bought a cow. Well, they got, yep, because there just wasn't any money. And the road, you can't imagine the road out here being gravel. And my grandmother was sick, and they had to take her back and forth to Birmingham. She had cancer, and they were giving her Raven treatments. And they'd take her over that dusty, dusty road to Birmingham and back. And she died during the Depression here in Kennedy. And they had one child that had died with measles, and it was buried in Bessemer. So we carried her to Bessemer.
So your folks in Birmingham are rich, your customers?
No. Most people from here in Kennedy, the Richards. My dad was from Tennessee.
And there wasn't a paved road through Kennedy at the time?
Dusty.
This road,
It's just politics.
on the sea,
And then they look at
where them lived, where we lived when we got married. That was a convict camp. had convicts that built this road.
Built my chain gang.
That's right. That's when I was about 5 years old or so, and the garbage, there was a fellow, who lived just the other side of the line. The house is not there anymore. But he would, well, we would carry him, KC, we had a T-model truck. And I'd ride with him, and he was big enough to drive. And we'd carry that, well, a nice word is just say garbage. And he'd feed his hogs. And he'd raise hogs up to 500-600 pounds. You know, now you don't do that. They would be too tough, you know, if they run that long. But I can show you now there's a pipe in the ground up there that they drilled a well. And that pipe's still up there.
Well, for water?
For water. Water.
When did y'all get into the milking business?
Oh, that was, let's see, that was probably in the late 40s. I'd say about, well, it might have been, let's see, about 1950. 49 or 50.
Is the building still up?
Mr. Turner.
Falling down.
It's still, Michelle, I was still there. Mr. Turner laid the bar.
For the milk barn?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when was the house up there built? Was that on the property that Mr. Charlie?
It was in 1800 and something. I don't remember.
It was an old house.
I can tell you where another house is just like it. Going in this side of Columbus, just inside Mississippi. Oh, that dead man curve.
Yeah, I know they told me.
On the right.
The house on the right.
The fellow that built this house built that house, and they were exactly the same.
And she stopped that big house on the hill.
House on the
That's where
They
they're from.
don't look the same as me. I've looked
Well,
at them.
they remodeled that house down there several years ago.
I just cut that off.
See, they remodeled it. It was built exactly like this house was built. Same man built both of them. But they remodeled that house several years ago.
Who lived in it besides y'all and Mr. D?
Well, I don't know. After we left,
How old were you when you lived there?
I was about 11 years old when we moved up there.
What was Kennedy like at that time, in the 20s and 30s?
Well, they had trees down there on the street. Didn't have cement sidewalks. Trees. People would come to town in the wagons and mules.
When they put in cement sidewalks?
That's what I was saying.
That was in the, you had
When they were
WPA.
Okay.
depression.
That's when Roosevelt was president.
That's when Daddy and
They
my
built
brothers got
sidewalks.
building in the curbs and sidewalks.
That's when they done all that. It's just a government project, and just give people a job.
No sidewalks in Kennedy before.
Yeah, before then, they had trees,
Was that when
big old trees there in Kennedy.
I heard they had dances downtown in the streets. Do you remember that?
Well, they had a little everything. But they had, they used to have an ice house down there.
I remember that.
That hadn't been all that long ago.
I mean, how late did people actually use ice boxes rather than electric refrigerators?
Well, most people, even after they got electricity, would still have an ice box. We Uncle Lewis and Uncle Claude down in Milford, they had a gin and made ice. They had an ice plant. And Lewis Jr., that's Nash's oldest brother, he got killed right after he finished high school. He would deliver ice on a T-model. I know he'd bring it up when we lived down here. Delivered out, you know. Well, that's all we had. Now, refrigerator.
When did people get refrigerators?
Huh?
When did people get refrigerators? Because I think we had one as long as I can remember.
Oh, you had
House
one.
on the hill.
You had one. Probably after Daddy died, he died in '56. And Belden, McAdams, he was the head of the Alabama Power Company down before me. And Grandma he still had that little refrigerator. It was small tonight. And so Belden come by one day and wanted to sell her another refrigerator, you know. He said they had up-to-date refrigerator. We had that one, I guess, for 25 years or longer. He said, they've got them now. We've got them down there. Just take your foot and mash a little pedal and the door will come open. And Grandma said, well, this will do the same thing. And it had a little foot pedal, you know. And it would open the door, and I bet the thing is 25 years old then. That was in the 50s.
Wasn't your daddy one of the first people in town to get a television? I know he wasn't the first one, but
I don't remember.
I remember going over there before we
Yeah,
got one.
we'd go over
We'd go
there.
over there and watch the Ed Sullivan Show, and we went over there and watched the National Convention.
I remember watching the 1952 Democratic
Yeah, I remember
Convention.
that.
Convention, yeah, I remember watching that.
But,
It was so exciting that you did it vote by vote, you know. Keep changing it. They didn't predict like they do now.
I mean, it's Captain Video and his video pictures.
I can remember Aunt Amy Jill and Uncle Dole, speaking of the icebox, had an icebox and a wood-burning stove in their cabinet down for a long time.
Yeah, right.
So it was kind of neat to spend the night with them.
When was the school built?
27. 1927.
you know, that's why Uncle Dole came to town, right?
Yeah, he was a painter.
Southeast.
He was a painter.
Southeast.
The kids probably be amazed about catching the train going to Fat and watching the movies and the cost involved. How much a movie today? What is it, $5, $6? $6 to get the movie? And then
What we did,
Some of them.
Mr. Kincaid, he was a depot agent. See, the old depot, they moved it back and made a community center out of it. Spent $75,000 on it, remodeling and everything. They're not through yet. They had that depot in Kincaid. Even though we was over 12, you're supposed to get a half fare if you were 12 or younger. And after we got up to be 13 or 14, they still let us go on half fare. And all we needed was 50 cents. We cut yards and mow yards and just push
Probably at that time, I had to mow more than one to get 50 cents.
Yeah. And we had a push mower. We pushed it, it didn't have any mower on it.
You know about that, don't you, Jim?
With 50 cents, we'd catch the train. We'd go to Fayette and go to the theater and see a movie. It would always be on a Saturday. And the old Office Cafe, when we get out of the movie, we go down and get a hamburger and an RC, just in time to catch the train back to Kennedy's. And usually we'd have 4 or 5 cents left.
Was that the Richards Theater?
Richards Theater. That's on 50 cents.
Did Daddy go with you? You said, wait, you and Daddy?
No, he didn't, he was 6 years older than me,
Oh.
but, James Richards, boy, we called him. And, Kenneth Hughes, Horace, go, Remus Davis. The 50 cents is all we need. Get the train, the fare, see a movie. This movie's only 10 cents or 12 cents, I forgot. And a hamburger was probably 15 cents for a hamburger and a RC Cobra and something.
You would have lasted a big time spender, then.
Yeah. That's right.
We'd take $1, pay for riding the school bus, go to Columbus, to the fair, ride all the rides, which cost about a nickel, and eat, and come back with $1.
When was this now?
I must have been in junior high.
About 1940, 39, 40.
Let me show you this picture. You probably can identify the people in it. I can't. I think it's my dad's basketball team.
Y'all, I gotta tell a story.
1936.
James Wilson told me a story about Daddy's basketball days. And he said, well, I went in the bank to make a deposit. I think it was Monday, Tuesday. And James came up, he was waiting on me. He said, I was just talking about your daddy the other day. I said, yeah, what were you saying? He said, well, he was talking to somebody and they were talking about Daddy playing ball, about how he was good in sports. And I thought he was talking about, he was quarterback, I think. And I said something about it being quarterback. He said, no, he was playing basketball. He said the coach came up to him and told him, he said, okay, he says, we're going to play this team tonight and we don't want to beat them too bad. We just want to kind of, we don't want to run all over them. We kind of want to keep it close. So he told him to hold down on his scoring. And he said, Daddy says, you know how Daddy was? He said, ATL. He said, he kind of laughed. He said, he shook his head and said, that was the wrong thing to tell me, James. He says, every time I got my hand on the ball, I scored. He said the coach was mad at him when he got, when the game was over.
You recognize those people, or?
Yeah.
Mother used to say he had the prettiest legs when he played baseball.
Your mother or my mother?
My mother.
Oh, his.
Can't call some of them's name. That's Red Ford.
Red Ford?
Yeah.
Jack Cooper, he's the one I was telling you about. Police. Fritz Polar, he died about a year ago. He lived out of Columbus. He turned out to Ben Curry, where I was talking about to the left, where he lived. He died last year. And Jones, where's that J.C. and Herschel Jones, Floyd Jones, he's been said he married John Evans' daughter. And the second guy next to Red, he lived down there, just out of Palmetto. He's the one that went with, when your dad and mother married.
Wasn't Ansel's boyfriend, was it?
Connor. Connor.
Girl.
Connor.
Yeah.
Is that Ansel's boyfriend?
Why was he a good bit younger than her? Cause
Yeah. See, he and Jay was about the same age. That's him right there next to Red Ford.
Who's the coach?
I was trying to think of his name. I was all wrong. I can't think of his name.
It'll come to you.
He wound up, Jake was telling me about him, he was some officer with a telephone company. bound up at Florence, I think. But he quit coaching. Can't think of his name.
Did you know I know you knew the Cope side, grandmother and grandfather. What about Mr. Charlie, mother and daddy?
I knew his father. But,
I think
Why don't you pass that around?
somewhere,
Why don't you pass that around?
oh yeah,
I picture somewhere of Mr. Charlie. No, a picture is of Mr. Johnny Cope. That's the picture.
well, I stayed with him down at Palmetto after my mother died, of course. Every summer I'd go down and stay with him maybe a month. And he had a horse, a mare, a saddle horse, and that's, his saddle was, he'd put his coat, didn't have a, like these cowboys got, you know, on the saddle, a horn or something, he would just round it off. He'd put his coat up and set me right in front of him. And I'd ride the horse with him.
Y'all get more calls than we are.
You know, he had,
They know where to
3 or 4
stand, I reckon.
done the farming, you know. I'd stay down there weeks at a time.
Did they build that house, the post, down there in Palmetto?
Where Ham and Jill live.
That one on the road there. Is that what you're talking about?
No, they live back way off the road.
That one burned, didn't it? Is that the old home place? I remember.
The old home place,
Burned.
I believe it either burned or it's over down or something. Set out pine trees.
I think Amy Jewel said one time it burned. I never did know what that
It
was.
might have. It might have.
How'd that place come in on the road? Is that your uncle's place? There on the highway, that White House.
Well, that was, let's see, that's where we lived, or they lived, that's where I was
Your
born.
grandparents did?
No, that's where Dad and them lived.
Oh, you did?
We were in Palmetto.
That's where y'all lived when you were little, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I seen pictures of Daddy on a tricycle out there.
Yeah, yeah,
You and Charlene out there.
yeah.
Y'all moved from there up here on the hill picture at the White House that way you moved.
No, we moved down there, we went to Kennedy, the house, the Turner house.
When you were little.
Yeah, that's where we moved to from Palmetto. And from there, we moved down here.
Okay.
And then we moved
Up here.
back up there, the house that's where Verma, you know,
Yeah.
remember where she lived. But that was over here. I drove a T-Model when I'd go down there, my grandfather, I wasn't over 5 years old, I'd drive a T-Model. But my grandfather had a, little coupe out the way, water drive at 14, I mean, it was a coupe T-Model. It had
This was Probst,
drivers,
right? Probst. Grandfather Probst.
Grandfather Probst, Johnny Probst. It was a little coupe. It was nice, you know, it had windows in it, and it just one seat. Of course, you had a little trunk in the back. And it had was a T-Model that's got these levers, you know, your spark on one side and your throttle really on this side, you use it up and down. But this one happened to have a foot throttle, which most of them didn't have. So we were down there in Charlene too. Spent a week or so down there. We was coming back, and one of my uncles was driving. My grandfather and Charlene and I was all on that one seat. And this hill over here where Bill Sullivan lived, it was just gravel, and it wasn't blacktop. And you come to a hill on a T-bottom, it had the little lever over here that you'd pull up and coast, and knock it out of gear more or less, you know. Well, Michael Furman, we was all crowded up in that thing, but he pulled that lever up and got a good start on top of the hill, going to coast down the hill, and the motor just kept going faster and faster. We didn't know what happened. And Charlene had her foot on that gas pedal. And so whatever it had, throw the motor up, you know. Wide open coming down that hill.
Did you meet much traffic? Those days?
You didn't, well, back then, you'd go uptown on the street there and you could count the cars on one hand.
Well, didn't Granddaddy have one of the first cars? Wasn't he road commissioner for a while?
Well, he was road commissioner, but that was in the late 30s. He had a 37 Ford. 37 Ford. When he was commissioner. Because I drove that, let's see, I was, well, let's see. He let me drive up to the house one night. We were downtown. He's already got the car. And I had to, could I drive to the house? And he pushed the seat up and he said, well, go ahead, I'll be on. Just walk. And I drove that car to the house by myself. I guess I was 12 years old. In fact, he got my license when I was 15. So I don't know who told the story. He or Judge Johnson over at the courthouse.
Did you get a license at 15?
No, it was supposed to be 16.
Oh, he got, all right.
But he got me. I was 15, and that was my license today. The date on him is, showed me a year older than I am. But like I say, I don't know who told the story, he or Judge Johnson.
There's probably just some misunderstanding.
Just an misunderstanding.
I'm sure no one lied.
Now, you went to Kennedy High School, most of you. Who taught you that? Did Anselm Johnson teach you?
In the first grade.
I know Douglas.
That's your teacher.
I can show you, I got proof. And I think the kids now, if you think I was exaggerating when talking about the overall,
Oh, we saw the overall in the picture of my dad's face.
but I want to show you the sweater that I had on. And if you look at that right arm, we were on the desk and had her put in front of it. You'll see a little hole in that elbow.
Pass it around. So, Anselm Johnson taught you first grade. Dinah's Douglas teacher? She must have.
Yeah. She talked with Ask Charlene picture. 1931 when that was made. Miss Douglas came down there in 1927 when the school opened. She taught math, and I don't know what other subject. And I guess probably 1940s or 50s that they decided that she wasn't going to teach math. You know, that's when they started. You know, she had taught math, I guess, 2 years among other subjects, you know. She was good math.
She was actually principal of the school in the early 40s for a while, right?
She was. I wasn't here.
Did you finish and then go in the military immediately when you graduated from high school?
I finished high school and went to junior college. Over this,
Yeah, I knew my dad was good at football. I didn't know whether you played football or not. I knew you played baseball because I remember you playing with a kind of independent Kennedy team. I knew you were really good at baseball.
well, Coach Thomas was close down to Alabama. Back then, they done it different. But I got a letter, invitation to come down, spring training, which was in February at that time. Pearl Harbor was in December the 6th. And in March, I went down there, got a little bag, caught a bus, got down to Reform, caught a bus to Tuscaloosa. Howard College had just shut down in Birmingham. They had a football team. A lot of volleyball was down there and spring training. But it was coach all that. Now we don't know where we played football or not. See, the war just started. Pearl Harbor was 7th of December and this was July. So, but he said, well, we'll get all of you a job if you want to.
She's doing a little better this morning. She rested well last night.
Come on back to school and play ball. But I only saw one college game in my life. I was comfortable. I hadn't been in Tuscaloosa anything.
Yeah.
So I got my little bag and I come to Fayette. And JC, I was standing on the corner. And he had been to the salt shop. And he saw me standing on the corner. So that's the way I got back to him. But he told me I never ever get either. He said, well, no bigger than you are. Why don't you just try to play baseball, instead of football? So anyway, I wound up playing ball. I went to coach somebody. He come by here, I was downtown. Coach Frank. And they had a home junior college and working in Alabama. And I know we were about Main Street down there in town. He said, roll your bitch's leg up, you want to see my leg. See if it's big enough to play football, I can't. Anyway, I went out there. Played till I had to go and serve. Got my knee hurt. But that didn't get out of service back then. I couldn't even run down on that knee. I had to go down on a stick.
They weren't looking for excuses to turn people away.
That didn't keep you out.
Well, anybody got any questions?
Did Mother teach you?
No,
She taught everybody else.
she was,
Miss Maida. Right before I got there.
she was after me, I don't know.
She moved to high school. She taught 3rd grade and then she moved to high school, so maybe.
Yeah, well, I finished in 42.
She taught Daddy. Don't know how she missed you.
Who else taught you that we might know or know of?
Oh, Alan Wilson, second grade. Miss Rita Burnham. That's the main English teacher was a Miss Taylor, but she wasn't from...
Lydia Power didn't teach you, did she? Lydia Power?
No.
Who?
Miss Bobo, Peyton's mother,
Yeah, Miss Alice.
Miss Alice Bobo.
She taught Kennedy.
She taught Kennedy.
Well, you said the school was built in 1927. What did the kids do before then? Where did they go to school?
They had those schools, you know, where the Jimmy neighbors, where the crossing line is.
Yeah.
Turn up that street. Just, you know, where the first road to the left,
That's true.
well, it's just this side, there's a house there. That's where the old
That's
school
where the
building
old
used to be.
So it was close to the old black school then?
Well, it's on past Center
Yeah.
there and you turn to the
Yeah, but
right.
I mean, it was in kind of,
Yeah,
Well, it was an elementary school, a junior high, was it actually a...
well, I don't remember, but that's the only school that was here at that time. I just don't remember, it wasn't very big, you know,
Now, Kenny used to have a doctor, right?
had two of them,
Okay.
Dr. Davis and Dr. Savage,
And a dentist.
and had a dentist,
Who was that?
Dr. Clardy.
Okay.
He was, the building is still there. You know, the little building where the fire shop, what's the name?
moved from, moved
Moved
down.
from? That was, where the dentist was.
That wasn't that Mr. Jimmy, who was that, had that little store there?
Well, that was, the
Was that after? Daddy, go out there for Domino's.
No, that was Mr.
Jimmy.
That's been torn down, that was a big brick building.
Yeah, that was torn down when Jimmy built it, rods, I mean, you know.
Because he had all that merchandise in there, but apparently he never sold anything but soft drinks to the men who were playing dominoes, as far as I could tell.
I bought something down there one time.
You did? All right.
Still got it.
You must be a customer.
With some doll furniture, little rats, toys, you know, little cheap toys. I got a little doll and I got a little
Okay.
some doll furniture.
I never saw anybody when I was in there, my dad would take me in there, I would watch the domino games, and I never saw anybody buy anything. But,
Well, now, one year that the school closed down, that's when, during the Depression, we were living down here. Out on Milton, you know, the house, the road that goes behind my house. See, right behind Bob's.
okay.
Just, the road is still up there. Now,
Is that the old Milford
that's
Road?
the old Milford Road.
Okay.
And the house out there, just before you get to the water plant, you know, the old building there, and that's where Miss Allen Wilson lived, stayed with her daddy's mother. And she taught us, the ones that could get there during the summer. The school was shut down. You know, that was during the Depression.
Flush it out, just lack of money, or?
Lack of money. Nobody had anything. And we would walk, you know, well, we didn't have far to walk from down here, and there was others, you know, close by, you know, within a couple of miles or so, walk up there.
Daddy didn't go with you, did he?
No.
You talking about you and Charlene?
Just me and Charlie.
I think he was in high school then. I
Yeah.
think he was out of school. Well, I mean, it seemed like he went to Palmetto.
You might have.
I went, because we were here during the Depression. I went up there.
Well, you didn't, people didn't have any, you know, money. Did sell, butter. Family was, you know, got to sell butter and milk. We sell milk. That's the only money we get.
And it wasn't, did you sell to dairy, or did you sell just to consumers when you first started milking?
Well, they had, milk truck would come around every so often, you know, pick up, just a big can of milk.
Okay, so you did sell to, okay.
But it, nothing like the little dairy we had, you know, put in later. about 1950, I believe, put that grade in.
Well, anybody got any questions? We'll all meet this stuff.
We'll have to add to this, right?
Well, I think we should do it like maybe every year, and different things to ask and stuff.
I'm gonna try to get my picture family tree together
Okay.
sometime during the cold weather.
When did the tradition of the McAdams getting together on Christmas Eve, when did that start? Because I'm 50 years old, and as long as I can remember, we've been doing that.
Yeah. Get up at the house on the hill.
Do you remember the first one?
Yeah, that's where it's going.
They were doing it when Serge and I got married,
Yeah.
so I don't,
Well, now, when y'all got married, let's see, was then mother and daddy, and you, there were no kids though, right?
no, you and John,
Oh, we were,
you were about 6 months old.
She got married in late 40s, or 40.
47.
and you remember when that,
47 and 97, John, that's 50 years.
Okay. All right.
yeah, and Santa Claus used to be downtown on Christmas Eve, remember, we did go downtown, and tell Santa Claus what we wanted. And then we'd have to go home, we'd have fireworks.
All right, that goes way back.
But you don't
Goes way
remember
back.
the
You know, we did fireworks, didn't we?
I don't remember Santa Claus downtown.
Steve, y'all remember Santa Claus downtown, don't you?
I think they did it sometime.
He may have been down there just,
I don't remember fireworks
something
before we were
around
down
every
here.
Christmas.
I don't remember fireworks before you.
we had Santa Claus downtown,
Okay.
but maybe not every year, it didn't last too long, but I remember going down there a couple of years. I remember being up at Melma's, and I saw loading up, so I know you were just too small.
So we don't know when it started, because it went back as far as you can remember, right?
Well, I don't know, it just started, I don't see the time. But, I know, well, down here, when we lived down here, we didn't expect anything, just a bare few oranges and apples, nuts. See, what kind of nuts you call them, you know, you can crack them pretty easy. That's about all we get.
What I get for Christmas?
That's right.
Those are the good old days, huh?
I wonder about that when I say everybody.
Probably was good old days for parents, I mean.
But I tell you what, you didn't eat just half an apple, and threw it away, you eat the whole apple. You're glad to get it. But that's just the way things work. Just the way things work. Nobody could help it.
Well, thanks, Officer Steve. Why don't we plan on trying to do this like something like this every year, you know, like next year I have a family tree or
Maybe I'll
have found some pictures on it, like I found all these great pictures.
Oh, you know what I want to do, y'all, is see, for the last 35 years, I have movies. Larry and I, after we got married, we had an 8mm movie camera.
I remember that.
And, you know, it'd be nice to get all of those together. And look at them, because y'all were little bitty things. You know, and that's been a long time ago. You know, my kids have not even seen our old movies. That's how long it's been. They have not even seen our movies.
Every time you get...
We always took movies, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going back 35 years now.
Well, who's up for fireworks? We have enough firepower out there. If Bill Clinton wants to restart the Gulf War, we have to. Oh, yeah, he'd like to, You guys up for fireworks?
I am.
Oh, I guess I was,